I think it's time now, so I'll just continue. We have one more attendee. Um, okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to today's MSc in Burns Plastics and Reconstructive Surgery's virtual open day. Thank you for joining us. My name is Fatima Mohammed Hussein, and I'm currently a postgraduate student studying the MSc in Burns Plastics and Reconstructive Surgery, and I'll also be your chair in this afternoon. We hope this session will address a couple of questions that are course specific, and you get a bit more of an insight into what it's really like to study one of our master's programs. I'm delighted to welcome today's speakers. So we have Professor Deepak Kaliskar, and we also have Professor Peter Butler. You'll be able to ask them questions towards the end of the session during our quick Q&A section, and we'll also have a couple of polls, so please feel free to answer. Before I introduce our speakers, we'd like to know more about our audience, so we'll run a short poll asking you about a couple of questions. So I think you should be able to see the poll on your screens now. I hope it's running. Yep, it's online now. So just feel free to answer these questions, and then we'll continue. Okay, that's great. Thank you for your participation. We have a couple of answers. So it's showing 67% are overseas. And it's also showing that 67% are studying other degrees apart from medical degree. 100% are interested in studying full-time. And then we also have which of the following are interested in studying. So it's master's programs, most common interest. And also, are you planning to apply for the 2025 program? And that's also 100% responses. So that's wonderful. Thank you very much. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce our speakers. So we have Dr. Deepak Kaliskar, who's a professor of bioengineering at UCL. He's also our program lead and also the deputy director of the MSc in Burns Plastics and Reconstructive Surgery. We also have Professor Peter Butler, consultant plastic surgeon at the Royal Free Hospital. So I'll hand it over to Dr. Deepak to continue. So Doctor, you can share your screen now. Yeah.
Thank you, Fatima. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, I'm just going to make it bigger. Good afternoon, everyone, or good evening, wherever you are, based on your time zone. We do have few international audience there. So welcome to this open day. I will quickly cover what the program is about, who are involved, what you can expect from this program. That's it. Fatima already introduced us. The course is run by Professor Peter Butler, who is a plastic and reconstructive surgery professor at Royal Free, and I'm based at UCL, professor of bioengineering. Just briefly about me, is my work relates to working on various types of medical devices, implants, and tissue engineering. Predominant work I do is related with 3D printing, looking into personalized medicine, which involves making different types of devices, tissues, uh, disease modeling, and even creating platforms for surgical planning and training. And for that reason, we work across various different hospitals in London. When you will come here as a student, you will also get an opportunity to work across various different hospitals based on the type of project you get involved. I'm also an editor and contributor to various books. One of the prominent book you will see and you will use during your course is Textbooks of Plastic and Reconstructive Surgery, which is a handbook which essentially covers everything what we teach on this course. It's free to download, so you can download this now itself and start going through it. I think you already covered where you're from, your educational background, and what you maybe you haven't told us what you want to do with this MSc and why you want to do this MSc. So feel free to put text and then we'll get a good idea about the purpose behind and the motivation behind you coming on this program. So just to start, we get students all around the world. This is a truly international program. The red dots are where we had current students and we get a lot of inquiries from various different parts of the world. The main reason students actually come on this program is looking into career progression, their professional development. They want to learn more about plastic and reconstructive surgery. They want to do research or get more publications. Some do want to change their career and explore new pathways. And some are interested into research and doing PhD. Obviously, this is a very competitive field, so they want to become more competitive by getting an extra degree. If you are within NHS, then you'll be looking into getting your points by either publishing, doing more research. At the same time, you get a lot of international exposure. The 80% of our students are international. Now, what is this program about and why this program is there and what we actually aim to deliver through this program? So first objective is about the core knowledge and the understanding of Burns plastic and reconstructive surgery techniques. The other objective is to equip both healthcare professionals and scientists with the research and the tools which are necessary to build your career within this specialty. Once you complete this program, you are expected that you acquire both scientific and clinical research skills in burns, plastic, and reconstructive surgery. You will develop various types of transferable skills. That could be laboratory skills, uh, critical analysis, public speaking. And I think that's again one of the skills our students do actually learn when they come and they become more confident when they leave. They also appreciate the need for doing more research and innovations which are required to cater the needs of your patients through this specialty. Now, let's look at roughly how the program is structured. If you need an MSc degree, which is what the poll suggests, majority of you are here for MSc, it's about 180 credits. And the program is divided into compulsory modules. The compulsory modules also called as core modules, and each module is 15 credits. So total 45 credits. And then you get few optional modules. These are being now reduced to 6 modules, and you will choose only 3 from them. And then you have research project, which is remaining 90 credits. If you are going for a PG certificates, then that's 60 credits. And you can do this flexible over a period 6 to 2 years, but again, subjected to your visa conditions. Recently, we have some modification going on and some amendments might happen. So the core module, you see 3 core module, they might actually become 2 core module. And uh, one of the core module will be 30 credits and the other will be 45. But it is subject to approval. But I'm just letting you know about that. Once you join, we will give you all the information. So right now you don't have to worry too much about it. But in general, the course is divided into 2 parts. 90 credits is all about taught models and 90 credits is research project. Whereas in PG certificate is straight 60 credits and you aim to finish everything in 6 months. Now, what are these core modules or compulsory modules? So the first module is plastic and reconstructive surgery. Second is burns, military, and wound healing. And this is what the proposition is that these 2 modules could get combined and become a single module for the next cohort, subject to approval. But right now, as this time, there are two separate modules. Then you have research methodology and research projects. So these are all compulsory modules and they run from October till July. What are your optional modules? Now these are the list of optional module. You can only choose 3 of them. That depends on your interest. If you really want only clinical, you can choose clinical. The highlighted modules are the clinical modules where you will get hands-on clinical skills. Whereas the other ones includes and exposes you to topics such as tissue engineering, biomaterials, and stem cells and their applications in surgery. Roughly the timetable for the week look like this. So on Monday, when you start, you will have few basic workshop courses. If you are going to take some biomaterials or tissue engineering model or rebrush your basic biology, you will be able to attend some basic biology courses in the beginning of the term. Again, that's optional and these are available to everyone. On Tuesdays, you generally have a compulsory module. So all green boxes are the compulsory module for term 1, which is the research methodology. Wednesdays are pretty much free, where we expect students to engage with extracurricular activities. So you could be joining sports, societies, um, learning a bit more yourself about systematic reviews. These are optional. Whereas Thursdays and Fridays, you have an intense teaching on burns and plastic surgery. Along with you will take other modules such as tissue engineering. Okay, but that's again optional module. So in general, you have a quite a lot of flexibility. The intensity in terms of teaching is towards the end of the week. Now, in terms of if you want to see the exact timetable term by term, you can visit UCL timetable or you can visit our webpage, MSc Burns and Plastic Surgery. And there you will find the link to the timetable and you will be able to check exactly how that matches with your requirement. Now let's go in detail of each of these models and what you're going to learn during your time with us. So the first module is first module is plastic surgery. Aim in this case is again looking into introducing you to this topic of plastic and reconstructive surgery, and we cover a range of topics starting from hand, breast, face, eyes, nose, ears, limbs, and anatomical reconstructive procedures. This is a short list of different types of specialties which we aim to cover. Again, I put an asterisk next to the mode of assessment because this is likely to change and your coursework might drop to 50% and oral and in-person presentation might increase to rest of the 50%. The second module is burns and military surgery. So we do get military surgeons coming and talking to you about their experience at the battlefield, where we cover an intensive module on burn surgery, covering pathophysiology, resuscitation, reconstruction, and then you have topics within the military surgery. And the faculty is very international, so depends on where they're based. Some of these lectures could be online. Predominant 70% of lecture will be in person. So this is still require 100% attendance at UCL campus. The assessment style is very similar to the rest of the modules. This is just a short list of some of the clinicians who come and who teach us on this course, and you will see them face to face when you are at a campus. The next one is research methodology. This is a compulsory model, and again, the objective of this model is to teach you how to do research, how to do systematic research, how to use various statistical methods. Um, they will teach you about presentation and communications of research ideas and data presentation during this. It's 100% online and it's got an exam which generally lasts for up to 2 hours. So that was all about the compulsory taught models. Now look at the optional models. So within optional model, um, I will first cover the skills module. So the first skills module is microsurgery, and this microsurgery module is run at our partner institute, Northwick Park Hospital. or at the Griffin Institute. And essentially, they teach you about the microsurgery, various tools, protocol. It has a continuous assessment. So it's an intense 1 week uh, module which you complete in the same week with examination completed. And this is one of the accredited institute who's actually also provides you certification of training. So that's an added advantage, and so most of the students actually prefer and like to go for this model. The next one is the robotic surgery. Again, this is run at Northwick Park. This also runs in second term, and assessment is a continuous assessment as you go through the model itself. And they will teach you basic robotics, intermediates, and advanced skills during that course. The third one, which is run at Royal Free itself. And again, Professor Peter Butler and Alnas, they actually run this model. And these was introduced after discussions with student about their needs. What we were not able to cover in the previous two module, now it's being completely be addressed in this module, where we are looking into both basic as well as advanced skills. You will be learning various types of suturing techniques, and it is very much specifically looking at requirements from plastic surgery point of view. Uh, Professor Peter Bittler will may be able to give you more detail when we open up Q&As if you got more questions. But again, it has a continuous assessment. These are some of the photographs which I received from them when the students were actually interacting in our lab. The next module, which is again an optional module, is stem cells. And here, Matthias, he actually runs this module, and this starts from stem cells. What type of stem cells are used in surgical applications? What are the therapies? Where are the regulations? What could be the limitations of this technology? What is the state of the art? These are the things will be covered in this examination. They got an unseen examination and a poster presentation as a mode of assessment. The next optional module is tissue engineering, where you will learn about tissue engineering as a topic, where you have a diseased tissue. How do you replace the diseased tissue? How do you engineer a tissue in order to replace it for people who require them? Again, it's got 100% coursework. The next one is the biomaterials module. In this case, you will be learning about different types of materials which are used and in human body. How do we design those materials, how we manufacture them, how do we characterize them. So this is a very interesting model if you really like to learn about how the biomaterials work and which type of biomaterials development process is going in process. Their mode of assessment is mixed, so they do have a written report, some presentations, and online quizzes. Now coming to the last part, which is the 50% of MSc, is your research project. That's got 90 credits. And we start this module as soon as possible. Generally in the first term around November, you will be given a booklet with compilation of various projects on offer. You make a selection by end of December, and then you start your project immediately afterwards. The project can be both clinical or lab based. Again, you get a choice, and you get a time to discuss your projects with various academic staffs and then make your decision. Generally, you will complete this project with 90 credit project report, which could be about 15,000 words. And around September, you will get an oral examination called Viva examination. And you need to pass both of them in order to complete the MSc. There are various types of projects students take, and this is just a small list of projects which students have been doing over years. We have been running this program for more than 15 years now, and more than 300 to 400 students have successfully graduated and got their MSc in postgraduate degree. So this list is very small. I can just give you an highlights here, but at the same time, so that's all about how the course is and what we do. Now, in order to get on this course, there will be some online tools you will have to utilize. One of them, which is going to be you will be using, is Portico. And this is something you will immediately know as soon as you start and click a button on application. So apply for this program. That is where you exactly start, and you get all your information starting from entering into UCL till your results are all being available through this online system. So you'll have to kind of make yourself aware of this system. You put your all personal information, you select your modules, you do your registration before you even come to UK, right? So the students who require visa, their deadline is 27th of June 2025. So you still have some time. The students who do not require visa, they have until 29th of August. The reason the students or applicants who require visa is earlier because it require at least 3 months time to check all your documentation and process your documentation on the UCL registry side. And it's a very busy period. And that's the reason these deadlines are hard deadlines. They will not be changed. So if you're an international student, you definitely need to hurry. If you're a local student, you got a little bit of time. But this is a very competitive program. We have a cap on the number of students we can take every year. So try and make an effort and put through your application with all the details requested as a part of your application process. The other software or a package you will use is called Moodle. But you will only get introduced to this when you start with us. And this is again where we host all our lectures, all our events, timetables, forum, various assignment submissions. Again, you will get and you will be exposed to this tool in October. In October. So let's talk about what facility can you expect. So at Royal Free, most of the teaching is done within the hospital, and on the ground floor there is a medical library, and this is available 24/7 for students to go and utilize. You can borrow books. There is computer cluster, printing, copying facilities. Department also provides you access to lockers during your project time, and we have a campus administrator who will actually provide you all details. As I said in the beginning, 80% of our students are international students, and there is a huge amount of support available to international students. It's as soon as you start during the induction week, you'll be given all this information all over again, where you can connect with various other people, maybe the people coming from your country. And then there are various societies you can join just to get very comfortable within London. There is a website for international students. So if you got any questions, I would definitely recommend you first go on this website. If you got questions about immigration, visa, how do you come to London, what to expect in London, you can find all the information there. Now, in addition to the facilities, you also can expect other personal support, such as personal tutors. And these are generally member of staff who act like your mentor. They will be readily accessible. If you got any questions, you want any queries, they will be able to help you. They will maintain regular contact with you. You can discuss your academic and personal problems with them, but they are generally your first point of contact when you talk. Um, this personal tutor could actually hold group workshops or discuss progress and provide also career advice for you. Okay. Now coming to the end, which is some of the outputs our students have produced. And predominantly, all these students, they learn various different types of schools, different types of skills. And some of the very important outcome most of these students are looking at is how do they learn about publishing. And this is just a list of some publications which our students have produced over the last 15 years. There goes more than 300 to 400 publications. Again, I don't have whole list here, but this shows you we are covering various types of different types of topics here. They're starting from looking into burns management to lymphedema, looking into going into adipose derived stem cells, whether you're looking into nerve regeneration or lymphatic tissues, various different or cranial and craniofacial areas. Students have already also had an opportunity based on their input. They did manage to contribute to various book chapters. These are only list of chapters which I have contributed with students, but there is huge list. They have worked with Professor Butler and other academic staff. The book I was mentioning about, this is again freely available. This was edited with our students and our academic staff so that whatever they teach also get captured as a textbook in your hand when you start. So you can read before you go to the lectures and you can have a very interactive sessions. We have a webpage, which is again, we are on a Facebook. So do follow on us on Facebook. We do put information about any latest events which are going on, which are not related to the course, but they would be interesting for your career. So conferences or any other events which are related to plastic surgery. We do have a Twitter account. So if you are interested, do follow us on a Twitter too. Now, the final one is that's the link to our website where you can go and have a look at the website itself. At the same time, if you got any questions, you can reach out to me or Andreas. The email you preferably want to use is this one because if you correspond to this email, you are likely to get picked up quite faster. If you try to send them on the individual emails, they will possibly get lost. So any queries related to the program, please direct them on this email address and one of us will pick them and immediately try and come back to you. With that, I think I would like to end, but thank you for listening and I will hand over back to Fatima.
Thank you so much, Dr. Deepak. Dr. Butler, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, it's just that obviously myself and Deepak have run this course for quite some time. So we have dealt with students from all over the world. The reason that I conceived and developed this in the very first place was during my training, I've traveled all over the world and took the best aspects that I saw from each of these programs and tried to combine it within an MSc program. So that was really the thought process behind it. And each of the elements we've been developing and modifying as we go along based on student feedback and also what the market is designed for. So it's really designed to improve your chances of getting into a training program. And that was the main sort of design, but also to give you a very good and well-based founding for a career in plastic surgery. So, and we do modify it as we go along to try and improve that. And as the sort of requirements change, we also change what we deliver. So most students find this really useful. Myself and Deepak also meet with you as students, usually after you sort of bed in a little bit to go through your CVs with you to see what it is you're actually trying to achieve, not just from the program, but from also a career pathway, because we can adjust things to improve your chances of getting somewhere. And lots of people have gone from this program not only into the UK, but all over the world, and they've come from obviously quite diverse backgrounds.
Thank you so much, Doctor. We have shared all of the important links onto the webinar's chat box, so feel free to have a look at your own time. Right now, I think we can start the Q&A session. So if you have any questions, then please feel free to put in your questions on the box and I'll read them out.
No questions, I think.
So you could ask any question, anything about the program or about the application details. We can also turn on your mics if you'd like.
Right? Does anyone has any questions? Abanub, Chantal, Mehmet.
There's something there.
But you can unmute yourself if you want, and then we can just talk.
Hello, Doctor. Hello, Divak. Hello, Fatima. First of all, thank you a lot for your session. It was really informing. Also, like getting in with the optional modules was actually quite interesting because it gave us more idea about what we actually fit with the career path. My question is actually, what else beside the mentioned requirements on the website would you love to found in the applicant itself regarding like the research experience or something else, or clinical experience as well? Thank you.
Thank you. I think Dr. Deepak, you could answer this the best.
Yeah, is that Abhinav who asked the question?
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, would you just briefly tell us what's your background is and where are you based right now?
Very well. So basically, I'm an MBBS graduate from Egypt. I'm currently doing my 2 years of residential, and at the same time, I do have an international experience. Also, I was doing right now 1 month training in urology, endoscopies in Wrocław University, one of the Polish hospitals. And I'm coming back to Egypt, and then I'm going again to Germany because I was trying to seek more opportunities of the surgical one as well, but at the same time, like surgery and your system was kind of more constructed to me to, as the doctor have mentioned, like to give me the basics of what would fit me later in the career path. So this is my experience regarding that.
Can I ask you, do you plan a career in plastic and reconstructive surgery? That's what you want to try and do.
Exactly.
And where do you want to do it?
Basically in Europe, not yet understand where, honestly, because I haven't picked a specific country yet.
Okay, but you obviously have already gone to Poland, so you do have entry to the EU.
Yes, I do. I'm
Okay.
currently in Poland, actually.
What's that, sorry?
I'm currently in Poland as well, actually.
Yeah, that's okay. So it sounds like you're a junior yet. You really haven't gone to a sort of a more senior role, which is fine. So you're at the beginning of your pathway.
Exactly.
And have you published anything? Have you any publications or anything like that?
I have been into, because the research kind of not most known in my university. I wouldn't say in Egypt because this would be a lot of exaggeration, but I am in the process of actually in writing a paper right now. But no, I haven't published in the past
Well,
5 years.
no, that's fine. As long as, I mean, it doesn't really matter if you do or you don't have that experience when you come to us because we help you with that process. It's obviously easier if you've gone through the sort of the growth curve, because I do try and push you, and Deepak and I will work very hard to try and push you to reduce at least 3, if not 4 publications. And if you do the work, the coursework, and combine with the research project, you should be able to produce probably 2, definitely, maybe 3, maybe 4, depending on obviously the subject matter, and sometimes it works. So that would be definitely as part of the output of the MSc that I would expect you to produce. Obviously, if you've had no experience in it, it makes it a little bit more difficult because you have to learn the process, and it always takes a bit of time. So from that point of view, having no experience, that doesn't limit you to coming into the program, but obviously it does help you because you have a little bit of a head start against students who may no experience at all. And it's quite common to come from both countries and units where they don't really, that's not part of how people measure success. So it can be, it's not necessarily your fault. It's just that's the environment you're in, and it's difficult to produce it if the environment isn't conducive to it. But this environment is, we're going to push you to produce.
Very well. Thank you a lot, Doug.
But just coming on regards to your career ambition, obviously we work quite closely with people trying to enter the UK system, and that's a points-based system around a whole bunch of different stuff. So as part of the program, although it's not listed, we do get people that are both been previous MSc students come and talk to you. And Fatima, I don't know if you've heard from any of them yet, or I think you have. I think Laura came to talk to you, but former MSc students, both about the experience in the MSc, but also the pathway beyond that. I mean, it's how they've progressed, where they've got to. So we take people from the MSc program sometime onto PhD. Some go into English training. Some obviously go to the United States or elsewhere. So what we do is try work. That's what I'm saying. Myself and Deepak meet with you to work out where your CV is, mainly to work out where your strengths are, but more importantly, where your weaknesses are. And that is actually to make it so that you have an increased chance of getting into a program. And it's not that, it may look complicated, but it isn't actually that complicated. And so it's important that you're honest with us about what you're trying to achieve out of the program, and then we work with you to try and get you. Fatima, you've talked to previous MSc? Have they talked to you yet?
Yeah, we've had plenty. We've had some online and also in person.
And was it helpful? Did it add value?
Yes, definitely. They gave more of an insight onto which projects to pick for your master's thesis, like your main 90 credit project. And then they've also given a lot of insights on just the UK system of training and how to apply, when to apply. So yeah, it was very insightful.
Yeah, we do have a alumna page, okay, where we let you connect with the alumnus, where you can ask. Fatima is current student, so she can share with you her current experience. She has now started her project, but again, you know the journey. Um, it's a lot of hard work. Uh, to answer your first question about what you require in terms of the entry requirement, I think the MBBS degree is the minimum requirement. Obviously, we are looking for first class, but the student who do not have a first class, but they have additional clinical experience, then we count it. Okay, so I think you might be eligible, but again, once you make an application, it goes to registry, and registry will be able to check all your documentation. If they are not satisfied, then they send that applications towards us to verify it. So it does take a time. So if you're interested, apply as soon as possible. Give them at least 8 weeks time frame, and you will possibly will then know the outcome of your application.
You can also, if you're not quite ready to go, the application being in, you can defer it as well. But it's important to get in before the deadline so you doesn't cut off that opportunity. So it's better to run the process, and then you know where you stand. You answer your question.
Yeah.
He's come back. I think he's got his hand up there.
I think he has another question.
Yeah. Keep going. Talk away. Go on.
Okay, thank you. So actually, my other question is like, I'm still doing the 2 years of internship that is actually obligatory in my country. So I'm actually was about to apply not for the period of 25-26, but rather to the 26-27. So if I may ask you, and this is an extra question, if I may ask you, what do you think I should work on in this year before I'm applying?
So you got two options though. You could go part-time from 20, from 25, because what we also try to design it so that if you do it part-time, we even have people that are full-time working that are doing the degree.
I would actually possibly not work if you need a visa. Okay, so there are some
Part-time though, isn't a problem with part-time for visa?
he need a tier 4 visa. So there will be different issues. So I
But he
think
may have EU. I don't know. Are you an EU visa? Are you on an EU visa now?
Yes, I'm on a EU visa now, but it would be a problem for UK if I was not mistaken.
yes, you will need a separate visa. The
Yeah,
EU visa
it's a
doesn't
bit
come
more.
in UK. So you will need a visa and you will need a student visa. Again, you can find the information on the website. So if you're coming for a full-time course, which is generally the preferred, apply the year you are ready. You can only defer your application for one academic year. And then it will be taken off from the system.
But Deepak, I think is the rule not you if you are needing a visa, you can only do a full-time course. You can't do a part-time course. Is that true or not true?
International students can only do 1 year full-time
Yeah.
who need a visa. The
So
rules.
you couldn't do the part-time option I just mentioned, but you could, to see if you're eligible, put your application in and defer for a year if you're going to enter in a year's time. Deepak, you could do that.
My sort of advice would be that he apply when he is ready, and he use the time he got right now to bump us his application with more clinical experience. Because we don't know his academic record.
Yeah.
If his academic record is not to the minimum requirement of UCL, then we could consider your clinical experience.
Very well.
Yeah, and also you said you're working on a paper, so I'd continue doing those papers as well because they add value to your CV.
Very well. Thank you a lot.
Yeah.
Look. Yes. Does anyone has any other question?
We also have Mohammed Ijaz Muzaffar Khan. So if you have any questions, then please feel free to speak up.
He doesn't have to ask a question. Okay.
I think in that case, I think we possibly covered everything. This is recorded, I believe. So the recording will be available to them. But I will hand over to you, Fatima, to conclude.
Yep. So thank you everyone for joining in, and for also putting in your questions and speaking up. And thank you, Professor Butler and also Professor Deepak, for your presentations. And yeah, we'll conclude it at this. And if you have any further questions, then please feel free to contact us at the email that's provided in the chat box. So it's dsis.brps@ucl.ac.uk. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great evening, and we'll conclude here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.